Hi guys, in this in-depth guide I will be telling you how to beat every spiral abyss. We're gonna use current floor 12 as an example. All tips given in this video are easy to execute and can be implemented no matter which state your account is in. If you guys don't agree with some points I'll make, or if you have any questions, please write it below. I will respond to every comment under this video. And now, without further ado, let's get into this. Alright, actually there is one more thing you guys should know. I'm not a native English speaker by any means, nor I live in a country where people speak English, but I'm trying my best here, so don't hate on that, please. Right, the first thing you should do before clearing the abyss is choosing your strategy. It's very important to know that there are two ways in which you can clear the abyss. First one is just to use two teams and clear all the content in one go. That would be ideal scenario. The other way that I especially recommend for newer players or those who have a little bit weaker characters is to build two teams just for the first chamber, okay? Then you clear first chamber and cancel your run. Your 3 stars on the first chamber are saved, and you can build another 2 teams having just second chamber in your mind. With those teams, clear first chamber in whatever time, it doesn't matter since you have 3 stars already. Be sure to preserve your HP and energy so you will have your ultimate ready when the second chamber starts. After you clear it, cancel the run again, build 2 teams for the last chamber and so on. I hope you get the point now. Now, when it comes to the team building, there are only 2 things you have to keep in mind. Firstly, well, this is obvious, but your team has to make sense. I mean, you cannot just pop in 4 strong characters and hope for the best, right? I would say there are 2 main types of teams in Genshin Impact. First one is hyper carry, which means you have main damage dealer and 3 characters supporting the DPS. There is also like the reaction base type of the team, where the damage is distributed between all 4 characters. Let's actually try this together now. In order to build a great team, pick main damage dealer and then build team around it. The other thing you must keep in mind are enemies. This is so important, especially in current Abyss, which is very demanding when it comes to the characters. Alright, do you remember when I said there are only 2 things you have to keep in mind? It was a lie. There is one more thing you should pay attention to. It's very important and it will make a huge impact in your run, guys. It's the Blessing of the Abyssal Moon. It's a very strong buff that changes with every abyss, and let's be real for a second. Its only purpose is to make you pull for new characters, as it always favors them. Some time ago it was very restrictive, but now there are a lot of ways you can utilize this buff without character that's on the limited banner. In previous Abyss there was a buff for characters with charge attacks, because we had Chaska banner. You didn't have to pull for Chaska though, you could just use Ganyu, Hu Tao, which I did by the way, or any other character who likes to charge attack. Right now, in order to utilize this blessing, we need our damage dealer to be protected by shield, because it's Zhongli's return. To be honest, it's a good thing, because many enemies in current Abyss are so annoying. I would take the shielder anyway, right? Okay, let's take a look together on enemies preview and think what kind of teams can we use to get all the stars in one go, because this should be your end goal. It's gonna be pretty hard, as this is very demanding Abyss when it comes to the character picking. So the first half in first chamber has a lot of enemies. They will spawn 2 by 2 by 2. Keep in mind though that Emirates will summon their pets, so at certain time you will have to deal with 4 enemies at once. Ideally, we would have some AoE in our team, right? If you are F2P or newer player, this might be the perfect time for your Hyper Bloom team to shine. For me, I don't really like playing Hyper Bloom teams. It's kinda funny, as I started playing this game in 3.0 when Sumer and Dendro were introduced. I digress. Anyway, the first character that comes to my mind is Nuvaliet. He's super strong right now and has insane AoE. Also, we currently have his rerun banner, so there is a chance you guys are pulling for him or have him. If so, I wish you good luck with your pulls. What's more, if you're like me and don't have his C1, you would want to use Shielder with him. That's because consecrated beasts are almost impossible to deal with if you're not protected by shield. While we're still on the first half of the first chamber, I wouldn't recommend using pyro characters, as many enemies have their pyro resistance set very high. Also in second chamber there is a boss that has pyro shield. And it's another point for Nuvaliet, in my opinion, as he deals insane Hydra damage, and we could run him with another Hydra unit like Furina, which we're definitely gonna do, by the way. In last chamber we have Golden Wolf Lord, hated by many players, me included, by the way. That's because it's such a time waster, and you need at least one Geo character to break his shield, and that makes building your team even harder. In this case, instead of running Nuvaliet Hypercarry with Kazuha, I will use Chongli and Jilo to make use of Abyssal Blessing and Geo Resonance as well. This team is perfect in my opinion, as it has answer to every boss that Hoyo put in the Abyss to make our lives harder. Now, let's see what awaits us at second floor of each chamber. First chamber is mainly a DPS check. You need single target damage, and that's basically all. I could see my Hutao clearing this pretty fast. Well, we could think that any single target DPS would be good here, but we have to take a look at other floor. That's what team building is all about. On the second floor, we'll have to deal with Tenebrous Papilla, which has annoying shield mechanics. You have to use a lot of elemental attacks in just 15 seconds, otherwise boss will have a lot of resistances to all elements and will be almost impossible to deal with. Since on the last floor we need a bow user for Flying Drake, Hutao team won't do, as I don't have Yuan. For this run, I'm gonna pick my Chaska and build a simple melt team for her. You could use Diana here to utilize Abyssal Blessing, but my Chaska is C2 already and I don't want to give her another advantage. I will use Shenhe instead. Well, this team checks all the marks as well, so let's pop into actual gameplay, where I will give you more specific tips as we go. The first chamber is the hardest, so it will only get better after you beat this one. As I said, enemies will spawn 2 by 2 by 2, so we want to make sure we're hitting all enemies at once. If you have issues with lava avatars moving randomly, you can run to the wall and wait there a little bit. They will teleport to you and ideally stay close. By the way, if my mechanics look clunky to you, that's because it's my first day with Nuvaliet and first time trying this Abyss. Also, I don't think that playing on PS5 helps my Nuvaliet, but it's alright, we still should be able to clear it. Remember to refresh your shield in order to keep Abyssal Moon Blessing. Now the worst part, consecrated beasts. Those are so annoying, they move a lot and can even one-shot you if you don't have a shielder. Alright, yeah, that's good. Good enough. As you can see, our time is not very good here. Honestly, it doesn't matter. You should know that the first half is supposed to give you health, and the second one is pretty easy. Let's see. Okay, before you start the run, you should have your rotation in mind. You cannot just burst in random order and hope for the best, okay? Here, I'm starting with Shenna, cause her buff lasts for 15 seconds and Bennett's buff only 12. Lastly, I burst with Shanling to snapshot Bennett's buff. Now, I'm gonna do some Chaska things and repeat it once or twice. We should be all good here. Remember that when this boss spawns, it has very high resistances for a couple of seconds. As I'm showing you, we're not getting any meaningful damage. So don't waste your ultimates here. His special attack can be countered by shields. If your character is protected by shield, boss will take significant amount of damage and you won't get any. Take note that only Geo and Electro Shield will bounce the damage back to the boss. And here's another tip for ya. Shields created by Crystallize reaction also work, so you can take advantage of that. If you didn't bring any shielder like me, just try to dodge this attack as it's a lot of damage. Okay, now for the drag. In order to kill this boss as fast as possible, you have to focus on breaking its pyro shield. Frina is amazing here because her minions can hit the boss no matter where it is. If you don't have her, you can get a little bit creative. For example, we could put Jungle's pillar, climb on it and hit it with Nuvaliet. Yilan also could hit him standing on the Jungle's pillar. Another fun fact, Venti's burst can hit the boss in the air. So if you infuse Dragon with Hydro, then use Venti's burst, you'll be able to break the shield very fast. After breaking the shield, we go in full damage mode. Alright. Okay, here just picking up some energy. Right, this boss is probably the worst thing in the Abyss right now. Breaking its shield is literally impossible with most characters. You should know I made 2 shorts in which I'm showcasing a couple of teams you can use here and break the shield easily. Check it out after this video. Most important things to know are this. You will have only 15 seconds to break the shield. After that, boss will unleash powerful attack that will just kill you, honestly. Take note that this attack ignores shields. You need a lot of elemental attacks, so characters that attack very fast like Yoimiya will do best. Shield will be broken after 72 attacks. Here's another tip. When it comes to the breaking the shield, some reaction might help you a lot. Burning works super well, as it constantly applies elemental damage. With the Wolf Lord, strategy is to deal as many damage as you can before it goes to the shield phase. The shield phase starts when its HP drops below 70% level. Ideally, you kill the boss before that. You can try bursting it with characters like Chaska or Yula, even Raiden works, but we're gonna take the longer route that most players can relate to. We have to break 3 skulls. In order to break them, we have to use elemental attacks. Any element will do, honestly, but Geo is far more effective. To explain you the scale, Ningguang can destroy 1 skull in just 3 attacks, meanwhile Ayaka would need about 25 hits. He has couple of attacks, and I hate to say it, but I recommend you restart until you get laser attacked or this dive that he's stunned after. This is your main window to deal damage to the boss. Okay, let's make use of our double Gia and break the skulls as fast as we can. Again, our time is not very good, but that's okay. This chamber is very similar to the first one. In first half you have to sweat a little bit, but second half is just simple DPS check. So this won't be even close. Yeah, as you can see, I don't even need to burst here, just 1 rotation is enough. When it comes to the builds, guys, my characters are not even that strong. My Chaska is running Wanderer's Troop, which is basically trolling, and my Nuvalier talents are pretty low, I would say. You can definitely do better. Alright, I think with this video that should be all. If you guys have any questions or ideas, just comment down below. I will respond to every single comment, as I said. And I wish you Merry Christmas. Take care and see you later.